actually shared your first race car. You
Yeah.
didn't both have one. You shared the car. What was that like? I mean, did you enjoy that?
No, not at all.
But a guy gets starting to win 75, 50, 75% of the time he comes out. Now all of a sudden there's a lot of people in the pits that they don't like that guy. Yeah.
They keep yelling cheater.
Yeah, he's cheating.
Winning. If you're winning, you're cheating.
Nobody can win.
Little Bobby will bounce back. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Before you know it, Wes will be laying on the front stretch at Charlotte with him again, helping him hug the trophy. So all will be well in the Bobby Pierce world. You guys tell me, how many times does somebody beat the truck fair and square? I'm not talking about breaking or anything like that. How many times do you get beat in that truck at Thunder Mountain this year?
0.
And welcome to a brand new edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. This is the Fast Track Plumbing studio for tonight. We're going to change things up a little bit and move Fast Track to the studio sponsor here for this evening for a special reason there for making that change. Appreciate Bluegrass Restoration and all their support of the last couple of years of our podcast. Be sure to check them out for all your home needs. If over here in my area of the world, my neck of the woods, they're located. Their office is right off of Berea Road there in Richmond, beside Captain D's. Also, Fast Track Plumbing, we appreciate their support as well. Calvin Carlton, Jake Manley, we see all those guys at the races, and it's always good to see them, and we appreciate their support. And you can call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. That number is 859-412-1287. So took a week off last week, Wes, and I had a vacation. Somebody said it's one of my many vacations, and they might be right about that, but it's good to be back on here tonight.
Well, I mean, I was at Rock Castle on Saturday night, and everybody came up to me. Where's your sidekick? Where's the other half of the dynamic duo? Where's Jumpin' Josh? He's on vacation. Vacation? Yeah. That's all he does take me. I said, listen, he's on vacation.
That's right. So
that's where he's at. Where's he at? I said, I ain't telling. He's on vacation.
Man's got to have some vacations, and and Sarah's the vacationer. She's all about trips and taking trips, and honestly, we can't take enough. And I've told her, and she knows this, but if it's up to me, we'd take a vacation to a different racetrack every weekend. And she says, hey, where do you want to go? I'm like, I don't know, man, World 100 maybe, North-South 100. I don't know, a racetrack right here around home, be fine with me. But she likes to travel and stuff and get out, and we've been to Arizona a couple times over the last years and talking about going to Montana and over in that part of the country sometime soon. And I enjoy all that, and it is good to just have time to spend with her and Brantley and just this past week. Honestly, we had, it was a staycation. It wasn't a vacation. We took a couple of days and went down to Wilderness of the Smokies. That's about as far as we got away from home. Made some trips right around here in the state. Wilderness of the Smokies is really nice. Brantley had a good time at that. But we got back home, and then we took a trip out to Liberty. I know you've been there, but I'd never been, neither of us had ever been to Bread of Life Cafe to eat. And we'd always wanted to go, never had a chance. So it was a perfect opportunity. We didn't have anything better to do. Went out there and then went to the drive-in in Stanford. But, man, that Bread of Life Cafe, I'm sure a lot of our listeners have been over there and ate, and that's a good place to eat.
Yeah, it really is. Sherry and I took a trip a day I was off, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and just took a day trip over there, and we ate at Bread of Life, and then right down the road from the restaurant is a fishing store called Land Big Fish. So I kind of killed two birds with one stone. I'd never been in either one of those, so.
yeah, that's a good way to do it for sure.
Yeah, but now the food there at Bread of Life is really, really good. So I'm sure y'all was in for a treat.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, it's like true home cooked meal stuff, and you know the story behind the place is cool too. Sarah walked in. We walked in there just inside the door, and there's a picture of the lady that built the place, and you know the first one that started it, and she passed away, but. We kind of read about that later on, but we walked in. There's a picture of her hanging there, and Sarah said, you can tell by looking at her, you know, that lady knows how to cook. And but all the recipes and stuff are from her, like originally, which I thought was pretty cool too. So just a neat little place over there, and the backstory is really cool on that too. How they started like a children's home, couldn't have kids of their own, started a children's home and raised several kids, and started the restaurant, and they all worked there and stuff. So just pretty neat overall. Like I said, we'd never been there, and then we went to the drive-in in Stanford. Never been there before either, and so it was kind of a Brantley week, to be honest with you. And he needs to have fun every now and then too, you know. So it was good. And we have completely lost Worldwide West Lanham. He was here, and then he wasn't. So. Hopefully we'll get him back on here with us in just a minute. I think that's the first time we've ever lost Wes.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. You just disappeared, man. You left me hanging.
Could you hear
right
me?
In the middle of it all? No, I couldn't hear you. You completely disappeared. I mean, you were gone.
I don't know. That's weird.
The first time that's ever happened.
I was just saying, it's good that you had a Brantley week. You know, let him kind of do what he wants to do and enjoy just a trip. And like you said, it's kind of staycation, which you did stuff that you hadn't ever done and experienced in the great state of Kentucky. So,
well, it's funny because you know this as much as anybody. Maybe we should do a whole segment with you on this. But you know, there's so much to do right here in Kentucky. That's, you know, so much to do and see that you don't really think about. State parks and different things to visit, and you know, you work at a state park, and so you know a lot about that. But I mean, there's a lot of state parks and things out there that people don't even consider. A lot to do right here in Kentucky that we miss out on a lot of times.
Absolutely. There's just so many beautiful places across the state. As far as Kentucky state parks, we've got 44 right now, all throughout the state, north, south, east, and west. All the parts here in the Bluegrass state. And this year we're actually celebrating 100 years of Kentucky State Park, so that's really cool. So 1924 was when the very first Kentucky State Park opened up, and then this year's 2024. So just a really cool. Yeah, really cool this year, and celebrating a lot. Got a lot of awesome things going on across the state to celebrate 100 years of Kentucky State Park. So that's really cool.
Well, that is cool. One more thing, and we'll get off this. I'm kind of interested now that we've got you on here. Like I said, I know you're the state park man. So besides Green River, of course, you manage that place. But besides Green River, what's one place in the state of Kentucky that everybody should check out? A state park.
And I've not even got to travel to all of them.
Well, sure, yeah.
But a really cool place is Kingdom Come State Park there in Harlan.
Okay.
That's a really neat state park. The views are beautiful. Got some hiking trails, and you can imagine the mountains over there in eastern Kentucky. Year round, just a beautiful place. But cool thing, I got to actually go over there even before I worked for Kentucky State Parks when I was in college there at EKU, and so yeah, that's a really pretty place, and one that everybody needs to visit.
Yeah, well, that's neat because I've seen signs of that place, but never been to it, of course. So there you go, Kingdom Come State Park. Go check it out
Yeah.
sometime. Like I said, there are a lot of really cool places right here around us. So, well, I called this episode a regular show, Wes. I've been doing this with several of them. I know our racetracks have regular shows all the time, so why can't we have them here on the podcast? It's always hard to know exactly what we're going to talk about before we even get on, and a lot to talk about on this one. I want to start though with our buddy Jimmy Smith. You know, we got word that he'd had a heart attack actually before the race started on Saturday night, and talked to several people. David Tilley was one who saw him before the start of the race, and David was just saying he could tell something wasn't right with him because he wasn't cutting up and being his normal self. And then you find out that he had a heart attack even before the race started. Went on to finish seventh out of 23 cars or something like that. I think it was at Rock Castle on Saturday night had a heart attack, man, which is just scary to think of. But he had a lot of people there to see him. He was hosting a lot of people there that night, so he didn't want to miss out on it. But just kind of a crazy story there, and I'm glad that it wasn't worse than it was, because that's a scary thing to think about, man. I don't know, having a heart attack and then driving a race car.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything till the next afternoon, but you kind of noticed there, I guess about halfway to 3/4 through the race, you could just kind of tell. And I didn't know if maybe the car was going away, with tires or something, but I would say he was probably pretty winded and wore out, to say the least. But yeah, just glad to get the report. He had surgery yesterday. I think triple bypass surgery.
Yeah,
is that correct, Josh? And
that's right. Yeah, that's what
he's up in the hospital there in Lexington, and we keep checking on him and getting reports. But I think he's set up in a chair today and walked some. Just still in a lot of pain, but other than that, doing good. And we just send out our prayers for him. And right on schedule there.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard all about this, I'm sitting there going, man, that just sounds like something I would do. Have a heart attack, but I can't let people down. I've got to be there. I got the company I work for coming in. I've got all this going on. I can't miss it. But that's just crazy. But just so glad he's doing good, and the surgery went well. So we just continue to pray for you, buddy.
Yeah, man, it is. It's just it's so good to see, and I see him on here now. But I was going to say, because they posted earlier today that he was cutting up this morning. He was cutting up, and so it's like, well, he's doing some better if he's definitely being himself if he's cutting up, and now here he is on the podcast. What is it? A day after triple bypass surgery?
Yeah, Terry Bryant says, knowing him, he'll try to race this weekend. That wouldn't surprise me, Terry.
No, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. So, yeah, because I was talking to Sarah about this, because I was talking to her about Jimmy. I don't know, like maybe last week, because we talked about we were wanting to get him on the show here tonight, which looks like he's on here. I don't know. We probably could have got him on here tonight. As it turns out, maybe we should have just went with it. But I was just telling her how he's one of those guys. Like, honestly, just a lot of fun to be around at the racetrack. Always cutting up and just having a good time, which is like just. That's what you want when you're at a racetrack, because we're there to have fun, and he's definitely one of those guys that's a lot of fun to be around. So, praying for a quick recovery there for him. Want to see him back behind the wheel. Maybe not this weekend. I'm not going to encourage such behavior, but before long, we'd like to see him back behind the wheel.
Absolutely, and we gotta pass this along. This was pretty good. Last weekend, we was at Rock Castle for the 5th annual Tommy Lano Memorial, and we're standing there, and in perfect fashion, Jimmy's cutting up with us, and he said, I can remember you two boys said, used to you just be in the pit stall, just in the way. He said, now you're redneck royalty. And we just looked at each other and started dying laughing. And I said, that's stuck. Now, we've been called a lot of things, but that's pretty good. Redneck royalty.
Yeah.
I said, if that's what we're going to be, I said, that's what we'll be.
Yeah, redneck royalty. That might be the best one yet. I'll just tell you, or the most accurate, anyways. You know, you got the dynamic duo, but the redneck royalty that might be the most accurate. Anyway, so yeah, always a good time there, and just cool to see him on here with us this evening. He don't miss a podcast even the day after open heart surgery, because I was going to say, well, Sarah's explaining all this to me, and I'm like, man, because she's in the medical field, of course, and has been for a long time, so all medical stuff's like right up her alley. And I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with it. No way I could do it. I mean, I just couldn't. I'm not cut out for it. But she's explaining that basically they take his heart out of his chest and put in some new roads and the valves and all this stuff, and it's just a lot of it over my head, but just imagining a heart laying on your chest and new roads going in the valves and all this kind of stuff. And then the day after, here he is on the podcast and cutting up with people this morning. So just good to see.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Just glad to see him doing better, and just a scary deal.
It is.
But he'll be back in that race car sooner than later. I guarantee it.
Yeah, he will. Real quick, we got to get to our guest that we're going to have on here this evening. But last few weeks of racing, let's talk about it just a little bit. Missed last week, so I do want to just kind of talk about the last couple of weeks. Of course, 2 weeks ago with the Tommy Lanham Memorial, and that's a very important race for you and your family. And it was a fun time seeing super late models back at Rockcastle, and like I said, just overall, I thought it was a great night. You sang the national anthem there and some other stuff. So tell us a little bit about what you did at Rockcastle.
Well, it was just another awesome night, and again, just a huge thank you and hats off to Dwayne and Michelle Harris there at Rockcastle Speedway, and all of their crew and their staff, with John and I mean, John's he's cool as he could be. His sisters work in the concession stand. That family is huge Rockcastle Speedway supporters. I'm thankful for them. Our old buddy Michael Gadd, good to always see him.
Yeah.
Just all the staff there, just so thankful for them and putting that event on to honor Big Tommy Lanham, and just a huge crowd. I mean, the place is packed. The pits are full of cars, full of fans. The grandstand side, I think is the biggest crowd that I'd ever seen there.
Oh, yeah.
And just talking to people that don't miss a race there. They said in the history of that track, that might have been the biggest crowd that they had ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. And I know Big Tommy was definitely smiling down and had that big grin on his face, watching from up above in heaven, and just an awesome event. Like you said, I got to sing the national anthem, and that's special wherever you are to get to do that, but especially for my cousin's race. So that was awesome. And then got to be in the booth with Caution, and called the first lap. I guess it was gonna call a couple laps. Caution come out, and I let him have it from there on out. But just cool to be. I think it was Pit Road TV. And call the race, the starting lineup, and watch them go 4 wide and be televised. So that was another real cool thing that happened, and but just so cool, and then got to during the, I guess, intermission there right before the features, myself and then his son. Tommy Lanham Jr. got to go out there on the front stretch and just thank the fans, thank everybody for putting it on. Cool deal to get to do that, to honor him, and then super late models come back with Ultimate Heart of America Super Late Model Series. So that's cool. Zach Doan picks up the win. Just a really, really good race, and it's overnight in every class. Just a good night of racing. So just a special night as always. That was hard to believe that was the 5th annual. It's just tough that he's been gone for that long, and I miss him every day. But so thankful that he took me racing and was that main influence to show asphalt and dirt racing to me, and that's where I learned everything from him, and that's why I still love it today.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all had somebody influence us to get involved with this sport and to help, help grow our love for the sport that we all have. So it's cool that he was that for you, and you get to be a part of that event every year, and it's really cool that Rockcastle allows the family to be a part of it the way that they do, and just it's really cool that they do all that stuff, and they always do with those memorial races. So just awesome to see.
They do a really good job, and going to give a shout out to Ken Short with 28 Designs. Just an awesome T-shirt this year, and then Billy Moore with Graphic Impressions doing those T-shirts. They were just awesome. Yeah. So if you haven't gotten one, get a hold of Billy or Michelle Harris there at the track and get one of those shirts. And that's another thing. It's just cool when you go racing and you see those memorial shirts. It's special to everybody, but especially the family. When you see fans wearing that shirt, it's don't matter who it is. Those memorial races are special, across the state and throughout the United States. But it's really special when you see one of those at a track, honoring Big Tommy. So that's cool.
Yeah, it definitely is. I got to check another thing off my list too. Something I'd never done at a racetrack before, and I don't know, man. The list is growing. I've done just about everything you can think of, and I'm starting to add things that you wouldn't even think of to the list now. So, got to be the track mascot there got to be Rocky for the 5th annual Tommy Lamb Memorial. Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. We came up with that idea and ordered this thing, and you're really not sure because there's never really been a mascot at a racetrack. I don't know that there's ever been a track's ever had a mascot before, and so we came up with that idea. And I thought you don't know how something's going to go until it happens. So I'm are they going to think we're crazy or whatever? But it was really cool because the kids were going crazy, and they were chanting Rocky, and it really for a lot of those little kids it made their night being able to get their picture took with the mascot. It was really ended up being just a very cool thing. And I love that because some of my greatest memories are at a racetrack. I can remember things from the racetrack when I was a kid. I remember more from the racetrack than I remember with anything else.
Yeah.
And so, if there's something that you can do to help a kid have a good time at the races, I'm all for it, man. And that's a really cool thing, and I think it's going to be a good thing for the racetrack moving forward to keep doing that. So, but yeah, that was so much fun.
I loved it. That was a great idea, and for you to get to do that, I was wanting to mention it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna let him talk about it, but it was just super cool, and to see those smiles on those kids' faces and high fives and all that good stuff. I mean, heck, I even got my picture with Rocky. I think we all did.
Yeah, you did.
It was special deal, and
it was cool.
Cool that you got to do that, man.
Yeah. It was fun. Had a blast with it. So look forward to doing it again sometime. Well, let's take a quick commercial break here. We've still got plenty more to go here on the podcast, so hang in there with us. We'll take this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chris Lowry with Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. From simple service work to full paints, roofing, flooring, and everything in between, we're your one-stop shop for your home maintenance and remodeling needs. Our family has been serving the Richmond area for 3 generations, and we're proud to continue that today. You also voted us the best general contractor in Madison County in 2022. We thank you for that honor. Give us a call for all your construction needs at 859-353-1133.
And welcome back to Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. We're now joined by our good buddy, and I'm gonna have to remove this screen here. I don't want to take half of him away. There we go. Our good buddy Robbie Wilson. This guest segment tonight is brought to you by Wilson Plumbing, because Robbie is one of our sponsors that we appreciate a whole lot. And Robbie, it's good to have you on here with us tonight.
Well, thank y'all for having me. It's a privilege to be on here with the celebrities y'all are.
Yeah. I don't know if I can take it that far, man. But,
I don't. I don't think we're celebrities.
Yeah,
I can't keep up with y'all. Y'all have so much knowledge here.
Yeah. I don't know about knowledge. We got something, but it ain't knowledge.
Right. That's exactly right.
So. But yeah, man, we really we truly appreciate your support of the podcast. And Wes texted me a couple days ago and said we need to have Robbie on, and so yeah, I think that's a great idea. You just had a big event this past weekend. Wes knows more about it than I do, so I'll let you talk about it a little bit, Wes, and then let you get us rolling here.
Well, Wes don't know a whole lot about it, but I just know it is probably one of the biggest kart racing events probably in the state of Kentucky. Would you say that's probably pretty accurate, Robbie?
Yeah, it's a big event locally here. Got a lot of people that look forward to it every year. Saying it's the biggest, it's probably not the biggest, but maybe it's most wanted to attend.
Okay.
Well, that's a pretty awesome, I guess, quality to have in an event. If the fans and the drivers, want to be there, and it's one of them each year that's circled on their calendar and they're scheduled, and that's a pretty special event.
Yeah, it's more than a racing event. I've been privileged to join up with J&M Motorsports, Jimmy Anderson, Lisa. They kind of took me in, and we put this thing together about 10 years ago. Put together a little race, thrown in a couple bicycles, and now it's grown into, I'd say they give away 8 bicycles and probably 10, 12 other prizes for the kids. Made it a kids event. Women's involved in it. We give some gifts for women. We know women don't like going to the racetrack all the time, so we got to have something to kind of keep them happy.
Yeah.
So it's become a big event. Have some good races. Big fireworks show. Jimmy Anderson, he loves shooting fireworks, so he puts on a great fireworks show every year, and it's just grown from year 1 to year 9 here. We lost 1 year to COVID, but it's been a great.
How many participants did you say you had that raced in it this past weekend?
We had 180 entries. We ran about 19 or 20 different classes between kids classes and the clone classes, the predator classes. So it's a long show. Would you get a lot of people involved and give everybody a chance to race?
Yeah. So kart racing's not something that we talk about a whole lot here on on the podcast. Maybe we should more. I know there's a lot of stuff going on around the state. I know it's kind of one of those things. There are a lot of people that participated in stuff. How did you get involved with kart racing, or what? Beyond the Outhouse Classic, what's your involvement with it?
Well, I started many years ago. I've always been into racing of some sort since I was a kid, going to car races and helping people with race cars. And then around 1993 or 4, somewhere along in there, I decided I was going to race go-karts. We got a couple tracks here local, and I got into go-karting and raced for 2-3 years. Then I went back to car racing for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, probably 2013, went to the fair. They go-kart racing, got to talking to Johnny Wheeler. And the next thing I know, I was back into go-karting. I bought another go-kart, and we raced a little bit, me and him together. And I'm still got a boy that works for me that races. And I decided I wanted to, I kept trying to get Jimmy Anderson at J&M to lease me the track, let me put on a show, and he never would do it. So me and my buddies got together, and we kind of just put together a little event, and it's just grown from there.
Okay. That was going to be my next question: is the Outhouse Classic? How'd it come about? What and why is it called the Outhouse Classic? I guess that's one question I have.
Well, me and my buddy Danny Rainwater, we went out to eat one night, and we got to thinking about this, and we come up with the idea we was going to have this little race, and we come back and got some sponsors to help us, guarantee some money, get some people to come in there, and we was trying to decide what to call it, which I'm a plumber. And I said, we'll just call it the Outhouse Classic.
Yeah.
We wanted to call it the Brawl on the Bridge or something, and we thought that might be a little out of line for racing.
Yeah.
So we just come up with Outhouse Classic, and it's just kind of stuck, and everybody looks forward to it. We built the outhouse, and we put this thing in the 4th of July parade here in Campbellsville. We missed 2 or 3 years, and people started asking where we was at. We bringing the outhouse back, so we had to build our outhouse float again this year and run it through the parade.
Oh yeah,
It's just become tradition, I guess, for us now.
Yeah. Do the winners get to take home an outhouse or anything? Like what you got a trophy that you put together that's an outhouse or what?
We did a couple years ago. I bought an outhouse down in Tennessee when I was down there and brought it back. We got a big trophy mounted on top of it, and we give that thing away. And then I skipped a year, just done the big trophy. But this year we went back. I had one of my local contractors here I work with. He built me an outhouse, and we had another trophy put on it. And everybody wants the outhouse. I had several drivers tell me today, it wasn't about the money, it was about the outhouse. They want the outhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's pretty cool. Well, because I think, part of what makes an event big is, and it's almost one of those things that in some ways has got lost a little bit. I remember back in the day, heat race winners and everybody got trophies.
Yeah.
And stuff. And so I think having a unique trophy, because of course the money's good when you win and all that, but having something that you can put in the shop and something that's that unique is a pretty cool touch on an event. So that's cool to hear.
I agree with you there. And, nowadays everybody wants these cutout checks and stuff to hang on the wall. I'm still the old guy that likes the trophies. So
yeah,
I usually get both. I had to have a few trophies for the kids because nothing like seeing a kid get a big trophy. I've given some trophies out to some kids that the trophy was taller than the kid, and
yeah,
right,
just something that you'll never forget.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and also I know something you try to get every year, but you was able to. Everything kind of worked out, and you had Michael Spanky DeSpain on the mic, calling the races and announcing, and that's worth the price of admission in itself.
The Spanky is he's my number one go-to guy. I can call him up with my ideals, and tell him in my words what I want, and I say, no, you put your words on it where it sounds good for me, and let's do a press release. He can make it sound a lot better when he's done with it, and he keeps our show going for us, and can't do without him. You know, we want him every time we can get him.
Yeah.
He's a special man. It's cool, you know, for us, it's a privilege in the racing world to get to be around people like Spanky. But you look at the, you know, he was in the school system here in Campbellsville and as a teacher, and you see the kids that he made such an impact in their lives, and he calls, you know, sporting events on the radio, just so much that he's done just for this city, you know, the city of Campbellsville and Taylor County, just awesome. But definitely, I mean, he's Hall of Famer, #1 in our books for sure, as far as announcing races, and then as good as he is at that, he's that much a better person.
Yeah. And his go-kart racing is just as high as it is in the car racing, because he knows everybody's history when they come through there. He knows grandpa or uncle or whoever 20 years ago, and you know how he can comprehend all that and keep all that together. I have no idea, but he does a great job at it, and it just makes the show great.
Well, it was just announced on Dirt on Dirt too that he's retiring from the traveling stuff, I guess, at the end of this year, and I saw Chris Tilley put it that he's a great friend of the sport, and I thought, you know, that was probably the best description that I've seen for Spanky. It's very accurate. He's truly a friend of the sport. He's an asset that's irreplaceable to our sport and has been for many years. So I'm sure we'll still get to see him around home here quite a bit. But you know, he's one of the few remaining that, man, you just people that I looked up to growing up or got excited when I got to the track and heard his voice. You know,
he loves racing. I've seen him show up at J&M for a regular show when there wasn't no car racing close by that he was going to, and just hang out. You know, just enjoy talking to the people, and you know, he's just a person that you can't replace.
Yeah,
right. I agree with that.
But to give you a little more on the race here, because I can sit here and talk probably all night. We get going, but we honored 4 guys that's had a lot to do in karting over the years with special events on Saturday. One was Walt Connor, and he's probably up from Josh's country up in there. He was a parts guy and raced go-karts, and when I started go-karting in the 90s, he was a parts guy and a racer, and up till this year, he was still racing and selling parts, but he's decided to give it up. So we honored him with a race. We honored Norman Sullivan. That'd be here locally in Campbellsville. He was a racer back in the 90s. He built motors for Billy Despain. Then he helped Elliott through for years. He's always had someone racing for him. Then he started building these electric kart stands, and so we honored him. And we honored Winfrey Blair, a man that was a tech man, built engines back in the 90s and teched up to this last couple years. We run a race in his honor. And Danny Rainwater, he was our local parts guy here for a long time, and we ran a race honoring him. So we had 4 events there besides my original Outhouse Classic race for the Clone Heavy guys. So it was a big night for us. Like I said, Stephen Martin won the box stock race, the Danny Rainwater Classic. The Walt Connor Ode to Legends was won by Jason Wright. The junior purple race, the Norman Sullivan Shootout, was won by Colton Reitzer. And the Winfrey Blair Flashback to Flatheads was won by Chase Cottle. And the Outhouse Classic race, the Clone Heavy race, was won by Trey Porter here in Campbellsville.
Okay. Yeah, it's a cool event there, and like I said, we should probably talk about kart racing some more. I mean, there's quite a bit of it that goes on over here in my area too, so it's cool that you're able to be a part of that and put on that event. Sounds like a fun event. We might have to take off from the car races at some point, Wes, in maybe next year, and go check out the Outhouse Classic.
I'm getting Wes there sometime this year.
Yeah, or this year.
Have to come, Tony. Y'all need to come down. We've got a couple more big events at J&M. Kind of as the car racing dies down in October, we got the Monster Mash Bash, which is October the 26th. And that's the 18th annual.
Oh, wow.
It's a big deal, and hopefully maybe there might not be no car racing, and y'all can stop by for a while. Check it out. Wes in his costume for Halloween come.
Hey, that's right. He's got to come in.
Dress up as Rocky. Nobody know who you are.
That's right. And it's October, so if it's kind of cold that day, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He burned up there and it about 95, 100 degrees on Saturday.
Yeah. I've not sweated like that ever. I mean, I'm telling you, it was crazy. And I even had like a neck fan on, and the fan was just blowing hot air. So I don't know how much it was helping, but now, like I said, in October, that thing probably feel pretty good, depending on what the day's like. It could possibly. Anyways, but yeah, if Wes comes dressed up, he's got to come dressed up the same way he did last year. Like, we can't accept anything less than Elvis. I think that it has to happen.
But on September the 7th, I know y'all ain't available on September the 7th, but they having another big race there at J&M. It's the Racing to Remember race. That's kind of the people that we've lost in the last year or so. They do a race to honor them and their families there. So I know some of us will be at the World 100 probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's the place to be for the three of us, I'd imagine, anyway. So
and we will have to again make our annual picture up there. I know the three of us took one last year there in the concourse at the Big E.
Yes, sir. Will, and like I said, y'all are always welcome to come to J&M. If I get y'all up there, I might even find you a ride somewhere, get you a lap or two sometime or another.
Oh,
hey, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll
work.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
Put me in one of them big clone cars.
Wes, will you race me on a go-kart? I'll give you a clone kart.
Speaking of racing, last Saturday at Rockcastle, I already got offered a Crown Vic.
Like for that night?
No, just for race you in a Crown Vic. So you got to find you one now. I've already got mine picked out. So,
okay. Who's yours?
The 40 car, Luttrell.
Oh, Tim Littrell. Okay.
Or Littrell, yeah. Tim in the 40 car with the big barbecue sponsorship on the side.
All right, I'll find the car, and
Bradfield said he'd find you one for your little skinny butt to fit in.
I'll find one. I ain't worried about that. There's plenty. I'll find one. I ain't worried about that.
We'll keep we may race all the classes.
Do I need to give you? Do I need to give you
front wheel drives? We've talked to Crown Vics. We've got karts at J&M. We just have a little touring series.
Do I need to give you like a half track lead? Like a little bit of a head start, or what are you thinking? I don't know. I kind of feel bad if I just went out there and lapped you or something like that. So I'm thinking maybe like a half track lead or something like that, just to get us started.
We'll just start heads up. We ain't gonna worry about
Right.
no half track lead. And...
We'll make him add enough weight to make it.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of weight.
Yeah.
We'll focus on weight.
We'll have to definitely make him make weight.
Robbie, we'll be. I ain't worried about making weight, buddy. I don't think there is a weight rule on the Crown Vics, so it'll be all right.
They're heavy enough as they are.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that. Tell us about you before we let you go. Tell us about your business, Wilson Plumbing. We talk about it every week here on the show, but you tell us about your business.
Well, it's, graduated high school back in 1982 on a Friday or a Thursday night, whenever it was. And on Monday morning, I started Wilson Plumbing. And I've been in the plumbing business ever since then. Been a long time, 40 some years now. I've done everything in the plumbing from, houses to, I used to run up and down the road, do McDonald's, Chick-fil-A's, Fazoli's, fast food restaurants, motels. The last few years, I've kind of scaled back, stay close to home here, and just do whatever's close.
Yeah. Well, so how can folks over there in that area or close to home for you? How can they get a hold of you easiest for their plumbing needs? You doing residential stuff now? Is that what you mean, or are you doing
a lot of residential repairs, and we do a lot of remodels, and we do anything that comes in. It don't really make a difference. It's just whatever we can do. They can call me at the 270-789-2721, or they can contact us by Facebook, or they can go on to the web and find us and contact us that way.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Well, sounds good. Like I said, we certainly appreciate your support of our podcast and all the fun we have on here and at the racetrack and everything you do for us. We certainly appreciate it. It's been fun having you on here to talk about the Outhouse Classic this evening. Appreciate you joining us, buddy.
Well, thank you for having us. And also in November, December, we'll be at Liberty Indoors in the Ag Center, so you can make a trip down and eat at the Bread of Life and stop in there and check out some indoor go-kart.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'd be fun. I've heard that's a really big event. A lot of carts, a lot of people come down and watch and race at that event. So heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah,
it is in there. A lot of excitement.
Cool. Yeah, that might work right there.
And you may have to throw something together and come to the shop and do a live from my shop here sometime.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could work that out, especially this off season. We're wanting to do some stuff anyway. So yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we could work that out one evening for sure. We'll get it going.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Always a pleasure. We appreciate your sponsorship and just your friendship as well. I know, last couple of years especially, love to talk racing, see you at races, and we just appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Thank y'all, and I appreciate it. And we'll see you at the racetrack soon.
Yeah, absolutely, right, man. Sounds good.
See you, buddy.
We'll do it. So, all right, Robbie Wilson there with Wilson Plumbing, one of our sponsors, the Outhouse Classic, and does a lot there with go-kart racing. So, kart racing, we're gonna have to get up there at some point, man. And I'll tell you that Liberty indoor a trip to the Bread of Life Cafe, that sounds like a pretty good trip to me. We might have to check that one out.
Good cold weather. Good cold weather day.
Yeah. Cold as can be, and you go in there and you get your belly full of some chicken and dumplings or something good like that. That would be all right, I'd say.
Dumplings, cornbread.
Oh yeah.
Big bowl of banana pudding.
All the good stuff on a cold day, and then go check out some kart racing. That's right up my alley. So we'll have to do that at some point for sure. Real quick, I did want to talk about this too. I looked over it in my notes. Ponderosa Speedway. We sort of teased there a couple of weeks ago that about the new promoters over there, and they've got a Facebook page. I think it's Ponderosa Speedway Junction, all one word. So look it up there. They made a couple of posts. The first one, man, I'll be honest with you, I'm still reading it. I was Enduro Derby. It sounds fun, but I said I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. So Sarah looked it up. She Googled it and helped me out there. But they've also got American All Stars race coming up. They announced and some other things. So it's out there. The word is out. You can find out who promotes Ponderosa and some other information there. On their new Facebook page. It's Ponderosa Speedway Junction. Am I right about that? It's all one word. So just look that up.
Yeah, we're going to reach out to the new owners and introduce ourselves. It's just kind of been one of those quick deals. We've not had a chance to do that yet, but look forward to meeting them and keeping this racing thing going at Kentucky's baddest bull ring.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, and they have. To my understanding and from what I can gather, I don't think they've ever been involved with racing or dirt racing, I should say. So they probably don't know who we are, Wes. So it might be, I don't know how that'll go. If we contact them, they might be like, you guys, I don't know who you are. But anyways, we'll try it anyhow. If anybody knows who they
Jimmy
are.
Smith said, we're redneck royalty.
We're redneck royalty. That's who we are. So anyway, do wish them the best. I hope everything goes good for them, and hopefully we can meet them at some point. Anyways,
we'll see. Sure do, because I love that track there in Junction City. Ponderosa Speedway is definitely a special place to a lot of us here in the state. So we wish them the best and hope to get to meet them soon.
Yeah, that's right. Also, I thought there was something else I had circled here, but now, Wayne's Auto Repair Driver of the Week. That's what it is. We don't want to forget that. Wayne's Auto Repair Driver of the Week. We appreciate our good buddy Wayne. I tell you what, he continues to find new ways to support racing. We appreciate his support of our podcast, but Dalton Brown, this is actually from a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to make Dalton Brown our Wayne's Auto Repair Driver of the Week. Finished third at the Tommy Lanham Memorial in a crate with a bunch of supers. Very strong run for him. He just hung right in there with them, man. And I was saying about, I don't know, with 15 laps to go, I mean, how crazy would it be if we get a caution or something right here and Dalton Brown somehow finds a way to win this race?
He was flying. I don't know. I don't know on the times or anything, but he was passing the look test as being one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, and definitely put on a show, and just a great night of racing for Dalton Brown and that 23 team.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool to see, and it's kind of the neat thing. So Rockcastle. The surface at Rockcastle really, especially late in the night, the track had slicked off, and it really gave him an opportunity there with good starting position to be in a position there to win that race. Because I think when a lot of those supers, man, they wasn't using what they had, couldn't use it, couldn't put it to the floor. And, of course, Dalton underpowered there really later on in that race, probably helped him, to be honest with you. And so, that, and Caution Wiseman says keep an eye out on Saturday at Richmond. That's true too, because
that's
he won.
Very true.
Yeah, he won there just a couple of weeks ago, and that's another place. That's what's so much fun about our tracks around here is that, honestly, you don't need all that motor, especially later on in the night. If those crate guys can get them hooked up, they can really, really make some noise.
Even you look at that night and you see the success that Dalton Brown had, and you think, well, there was two really, really good crate drivers in that I know Jeff Watson had a steel block, and then Dustin Linville had his supercar. And it's like, as good as Dalton did in his crate, if those guys were in their crate, just wonder if they'd had a better night and been more successful than they was in the bigger motor in the car that they was running. So when tracks slick off like that, you don't need all them 900 horses. You just need enough to get you around the track quick, and sometimes less is better.
Yeah, I agree. That's the truth. That's for sure. And so looking forward to another big weekend of racing here coming up. Wes, I had to call you or text you earlier and say, man, you care to get the Keltner contract and weekend outlook ready for us. Just been a crazy day, and had to go to the bullpen tonight and get you on the Keltner contract and weekend outlook.
Bring in the big right hander to come and close us out. Man, just another jam packed weekend of racing here. In the state of Kentucky, and then also in the region. So our Keltner contract and weekend outlook starts like this. Friday night, big night at Mountain Motor Speedway, 1,500 to win open wheel modifieds. You've got Mod Mania. Thank you there, Hometown Sports Corner. We appreciate you, buddy.
Jamie Hughes coming in.
Yeah, Jamie Hughes coming in there. But just a big night there over in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. As I mentioned, Mod Mania, 1,500 to win open wheel modifieds, 1,000 to win crates, 650 to win bombers. We always talk about loving watching them bombers when we was younger growing up, and 500 to win sport mods and $400 to win 4-cylinders. And then just up the road in Ohio, there, Williamsburg, Ohio, we got to mention Moeller Raceway Park is having 7,000 to win Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series, 4th annual Dustbuster 40. I mean, it's untelling how many supers are going to show up. No entry fee, 7,000 to win, 1,000 to start. Heat races are going to pay out 1,000 to win, 500 for second, 250 for third, and 100 for fourth, just in the heat races. I mean, that's just going to be a huge purse. 1,000 to start the race. So, I mean, big money on the line there at MRP. And then I think Sport Mods, Compacts, and Legends also on the docket there. So go up on Friday night and support Chris Tilley and Michael Spanky Despain and the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. Then on Saturday night, Saturday's another huge day of racing here in the state of Kentucky. 10th annual Butch Shea Memorial at Richmond Raceway. So go up and see Bill Lapinos and his family and crew. Ultimate Heart of America Super Late Model Series, 7,500 to win. Should be another great show. We saw them 2 weekends ago. I was able to go to Thunder Mountain Speedway on Friday night, and then Rock Castle, watched 2 really good shows put on there by Ultimate Heart of America. So everybody go out to Richmond on Saturday. Also on tap, 1,200 to win open wheel modified, 750 for KDRA street stocks or super stocks, and $300 to win Crown Vic. So should be great up there at the Beast of the East, Richmond Raceway. Then over there at Burnside, Kentucky, you got Brandon Hargrove, Kentucky. Lake Cumberland Speedway. Gonna be another awesome night. Run what you brung, 2,000 to win. Also 2,000 to win crates. I believe I saw it was 1,500, and I think that's been bumped up to 2,000 to win on the crates. 1,000 to win open wheel modifieds. 400 to win front wheel drive mini stocks, and 400 to win hobby stocks. So should be another really good night of racing there. got to give a shout out. I saw where David Marler won the Hobby Stock Paul Evans Memorial.
Yeah,
I think that was last weekend, and good field of Hobby Stocks on the grounds there last weekend. So big shout out to him. And then I seen Jordan Wesley won in the Crate Lake Model Division. I think it's a new car for him. So good to see that win. And then Florence Speedway, another one of them dollar days. I know Josh always talks about dollar days with the dollar food, dollar beer, good racing. 1,500 to win crates and a regular show for them there at Florence. They're kind of getting through this hot summer, July.
Yeah.
I think it's called Hot July Summer Night there on Saturday night.
How could you not be all about dollar days, man? I mean, dollar beers, dollar hot dogs. I think we decided dollar Virginia Slims at the concession stand. I mean, man, that sounds like a good time.
That sounds like redneck royalty, right?
That sounds like redneck royalty right there. I better be careful. They're going to hand us a Virginia Slim next time we walk in there.
That'd be funny. And then also Willard Speedway has a regular show on Saturday, and also saw where Mudlick had decided to cancel. I think they got the fair coming to town, and just a lot of racing up there in that area. So I think they've just decided to take the weekend off. Probably a really smart decision with a lot going on in that area, and they'll get ready for the following weekend. So a lot of racing on hand for Friday and Saturday. Get out and support these tracks. I know we can't go to all of them, but grab a friend, grab two, take your wife, take your daughters, sons, just, get out to the racetrack, support them. Yes.
That's right. All of them. Just get out and support your local tracks. I mean, it's cool because, I mean, every weekend there's just a lot of big events going on all across the area, and so another one this weekend. Really looking forward to it, and it's awesome. I mean, over the last several years, you don't have to leave the state of Kentucky to see some big events, and then also, I mean, just with our local stuff and local guys, drivers, and how good that's going. It's just it's a whole lot of fun. Stay to the end of the night too. I mean, a lot of times we go to these tracks.
Always stay to the end of the night, because it don't matter if it's Crown Vics, if it's Hobby Stocks, if it's front wheel drives. Any of those three divisions, if they're the last race on the card, they might be the best one, and you just never know. I know that race last Saturday at Rockcastle, Crown Vics was the last race, and it was a show and a half.
Yeah,
saw something I've never seen before. Under caution. Driver got out of the Crown Vic, took the keys out of it, left it on the front stretch, and walked to the pit. And Jade's recovery and towing hooked to that baby and pulled it to the infield and set it down. And they come and got it after the night. The driver did, and loaded it on their rollback. But
well, for one, most race cars don't have keys. Well, for one, most race cars don't have keys, so that could only happen in a Crown Vic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Leave it. That might be the move, the best move I've ever heard of. Just leave it sitting there. So the guy got out of his car, took the keys out, and just walked to the pits, left his car sitting on the front stretch.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just left it.
I love it.
He jumped the little barrier there to the infield. He walked across the infield, walked up the chute and into the pits, and he was not happy about a call on the racetrack, and that was that. But I had never seen that before. But the racing action was good. You always talk about them fireworks on the track. That's a little bit of
there
fireworks.
There was some fireworks, man. I'll tell you what, and I missed them. And I'll tell you what, if I was Jade, I'd send him a bill too. Where's this guy live? We're gonna send him a bill. How much did it cost to get him from the front stretch to the pits? Anyway, I'd say it'd be a pretty good dime there. So. Hey, that's pretty good. I like that. I really do. Hate that I missed that. That'd been worth the price of admission right there.
It was just it was Everclass. Saturday night was the racing action was great. But
Yeah.
Please, everybody, get out. Always support your local tracks, and every single time you can.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Caitlin. I saw Greg say that. So happy birthday, Caitlin McWhorter.
Happy birthday, Kate.
Not too many people get a birthday shout out on here, but she deserves one.
They ain't very many
for sure.
As I've heard the comment from several fans that she can sing the national anthem better than Harley can race his car. So
well, she's tough to beat at that national anthem. Now I'll tell you that.
She does a good job.
Yeah,
but happy really birthday.
Does. Yeah. All right. So let's go. DirtmanDiecast.com steak dinner pick'em challenge. You're still up 5-2.
5-2. We can't get off of that number.
I know, man. We've been stuck on that number. If we don't get any points this week, we're going to change it up, do something a little bit different next week, and just to get some points, man. Like, this is terrible. I think this time last year we at least had 20 or something like that. So.
Every bit of it.
All right, let's do Ultimate HOA at Richmond. So that's going to be a big one there. I'll go first since I'm down 5-2. Yeah, I'm going to take the safe bet. You know, after what happened you talked about it a little bit earlier, but after what happened at Rockcastle a few weeks ago, it really kind of makes you wonder if some of these guys ain't at least thinking about bringing out the crate for this race. Some of the ones that have got options, you know,
right.
That
7,500 to win.
Yeah,
and seeing
off. Yeah, seeing what Dalton Brown was able to do there, it kind of makes you wonder if they don't pull the trigger on the crate. But of course, it also depends. It depends on what how the weather and all that good stuff with with the track and everything, but just makes you wonder if they won't give it a shot. But I'm going to go with Dustin Linville there at Richmond. Did he win that race last year? He won one of them. I can't remember. The Butch Shea. I don't know. Anyways, that's who I'm going with. The Rooster gets it done at Richmond.
Really good pick. The Richmond Raceway has been good to the Rooster. Try to say that 5 times fast.
I can't. I don't know if I can do it once, buddy. You better not.
That's a really good pick, and it's one of them deals. You really just don't know who could show up. A lot of racing going on Saturday. We've done mentioned. So taking the Rooster, that's a really good pick. Let's see, who's Worldwide West gonna pick? Well, I don't really know who's gonna show up. You never really can tell. But I'm gonna go with the Enforcer, Jason Jameson.
All right, yeah, that's a good pick.
And I don't know if he's coming, but he's really good at Richmond. So we'll take a chance and see if that 12 car don't roll in there on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, if he does show up, he'll be tough there too. He's always fun to watch. You can count on one thing: it'll be a show if Jason Jameson shows up. So
that's exactly right.
All right, let's do one more. Let's do modified. Just trying to get some points here. I mean, maybe, man. Hopefully, we out of 2 races, can we get some points? Let's do modifieds at Richmond, and I'll let you have first pick on that one.
Modifieds at Richmond. Let's see. That's a good one. I'm going to go with Dennis Roberson.
Yeah.
To win the modified race there on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'm going to go with the 33Z Zach Powers to get the win. Those guys they're always up front there
always
at Richmond, and So it seems like they're always on the podium. So we'll see how it all shakes out. I know it'll be a fun night there and lots of other events coming up this weekend. So you all be sure to get out and check out one of those races. Saw plenty of comments there where people are heading. So should be another fun weekend here in the Bluegrass State. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, going to be another great weekend, and we just appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching the show tonight. Just thankful to be on here with you all for a little bit over an hour on a Wednesday night.
Absolutely, a little over an hour, but you know what? Just a little over an hour. We're doing better all the time, man. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you at the races somewhere this weekend. Check them out. We'll be there.
See you guys.